Hello, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about compound interests and the rule of 72. Let's dive in. Now, compound interest is usually talked about in the form of investing, right? So investing, it's like a bell curve, right? It just continues and it just goes up. Like the stock market. If you look at the stock market over a long period of time, it's kind of short, 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 and then it's just like boom, 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 keeps going up over time. Why is that? That is because of compound interest. And then there's two ways to look at compound interest, and that's in the form of investing, right? We earn it, or we may be paying it, right? We're going to go the wrong way, especially with those of us with high interest rates like credit cards. So this is something to be aware. And the rule of 72 is just a quick way of how to calculate that. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by that. All right. So we'll see here, we see Albert Einstein and his quote of compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, right? Investing. He who doesn't pays it. You can think about that credit card interest rate. Now, how do you calculate that? How do you calculate compounding interest easily over time? And that's where the rule of 72 comes in. So 72 divided by your rate of return will give you the time for that investment to double. Or again, investing credit card, right? He who earns it, understands it, earns it. Who he doesn't, pays it. Right? So think about that. And I'm going to give you an example right here. So if you have 72 and you divide it by your interest rate, and in this example, it's 3, it'll give me the years to double. Right? The initial payment, the initial amount that you put in. So if you have a savings of 3%, let's say you have an annual percentage rate of 3% in your savings account or a CD or any kind of investment. 72 divided by that 3% will give you 24 years for that initial amount of money to double. So if it's $100,000 and you put this in, it'll take 24 years at a 3% interest rate for that 100 to become $200,000. Now this can go on and on, right? Think about the next one, meaning the next 24 years in this example after that, that 200 now becomes 400, right? Because now you're getting interest on the interest, right? And it continues that snowball effect. Now, to give you a better number of 72 divided by an annual interest rate of 10%, which is the average of the stock market, will give you approximately 7 years for that money to double. So again, if you put in $100,000 into the stock market, you should expect and should see that 100 become 200 in 7 years, 7.2 years in this example. But again, in the next 7 years after that, that 200 becomes 400. And then that 400 becomes 800. And that 800 becomes $1.6 million. So this is where time and compounding interest is really your friend when it comes to investing. Now, the exact same thing can happen with your credit card. Or if you're at a payday lender, if you're going to go and pawn your stuff and have to borrow money because you're in a tight spot. Sometimes that is 20, 30, 40. And I've seen even higher than 100% interest rate paid back because it's on such a short period of time. Now let's go with the example of 18% credit card. Right, so if you have 72 divided by the interest rate in this example of a credit card, 18%. It's going to take 4 years for that money to double. So if you have a balance of $1,000 on a credit card that you don't pay for, in 4 years at 18%, you're going to owe $2,000 on that credit card. Don't do it. Don't be that person. Right. So this is again 72. The rule of 72 will give you the years it takes for that interest rate and that amount to double. Remember what Albert said: compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. Be wise when it comes to your finances. That goes for investing and credit card. Be sure to like and subscribe to the Ideal Life and Money Academy channel, and we'll see you in the next episode.